People often ask me the meaning of the symbol that's on my wedding ring. In fact, total strangers sometimes will see the ring and say, "That's an interesting symbol. What does that mean?" And also, people who've known me for a long time may notice it and realize they've never really asked the question, "What is the meaning of that symbol?" Because it's on my ring and it's on some of my communications, and for a while I had it actually painted on a computer that I used. So this is a symbol that I developed back in some of the darker days of my life when I was kind of reinventing my life and also kind of reformulating everything that I believed. And I wanted a symbol that captured what I was committed to in terms of my life values, because I didn't find that anything that I had really did that. So this was kind of inspired by the Magi being on their journey. The Magi are some of my favorite folks in the Bible because I just have such an appreciation for that journey that they took kind of into the unknown, just based upon a star in the sky. And how do you tell your friends and family about that journey you're starting off on? So Epiphany is my favorite Christian celebration as well. So I call it the Magi symbol. If you go back to my journals, back now 14 years ago, you're going to see this symbol over and over and over and over, because it was kind of impressed on me in some ways. I was kind of driven to get this symbol out of my mind and heart, get it onto paper, and start getting it in front of my eyes. So it's called the Magi symbol. In fact, you can kind of see these rays of emanating from a central point, which kind of gives you the impression of a star. Everything in this symbol, I want to look at different parts of it. First is this vertical line, which divides the symbol into a right half and a left half. It's important to note that there are no horizontal lines in this symbol. And so there is no up and down. That was really important to me because I think one of the obstacles that gets in the way of our spirituality in terms of the plausibility of faith is this kind of two-story universe where there's an up and a down, where there's a heaven that God resides in and there's the earth that we all live on. And so instead of that, I opted for a symbol that had two halves that were adjacent to one another, that accompanied one another, that sense of a spiritual reality that's near us, that we're surrounded by a cloud of witness, surrounded. They're not up looking down on us, they are beside us. That was really important in thinking. Now, as you look at this symbol, the predominant kind of shape in it is this curve, and it's a parabola. The parabola has always been very important to me for some reason that I don't fully understand, but it has represented kind of a sense of wonder and mystery. What I like about a parabola as opposed to a circle is that a parabola is always covering new ground. A circle is always coming back upon itself, as if to say we're just repeating things that we've done before. But a parabola is always moving out, moving out, moving out. And it symbolizes to me this kind of lifelong process of discovery that we are involved in. Now, you'll notice that there's a parabola on the left and one on the right. Well, this one on the left represents what I refer to, and I borrowed this from Lawrence LeSean, the realm of the many. And the realm of the many is focused on the fact that we live in a universe with objects and with people, and so it's a universe of space and time. Things are separated by space, they're separated by time. There is a kind of causality, a cause and effect, that is the basis of the sciences and of technology, and we need that kind of practically to live our lives. we need to trust that when we go out and put the key into the ignition, that our car will start, and have confidence in those kinds of processes and our ability to anticipate them and plan, for example. So this represents that kind of entire scientific side of my life, as well as the kind of consultant side, the planning side, the organizational intelligence side of my life that I have found to be very important and fulfilling. But there's also a parabola on the right, and this parabola represents the realm of the one. And this is the realm that we don't pay enough attention to in our society today, I believe. This is the realm of connection. This is the realm in which there is no space and there is no time. That everything is connected to everything else in a profound way. And my father died in 2003. He is not separated from me in time. He is not separated from me in space. He is beside me. And so is everyone that I love. So is everyone in the world. The furthest star from this planet is connected to me, and I to that star. Yeah, because there is no space and time. And I believe that this is the realm of healing, of physical, emotional, and mental healing, that when we can abide in this realm and connect to it, that wondrous things begin to happen. Jesus prayed that we might be one. And I don't think he was talking about being agreeable with one another. I think he was talking about being conscious of the fundamental connection that we all have. And related to that, you see these two lines that form an X. And this X represents my commitment to the Christian faith. It is St. Andrew's cross. And if you go into St. Andrew's Cathedral in Greece, you'll see these everywhere. This is not the traditional cross, and there's a reason for that. The work that I did in domestic violence really was striking to me, because I realized that for many people, mostly women, who live in an abusive situation, they understand their abuse as a form of discipleship. That this is the way they take up their cross and follow Jesus, was staying in an abusive situation where they're abused physically or mentally or emotionally. And I find that to be really at odds with my understanding of Jesus and discipleship. So I wanted to adopt a different symbol for my faith, which is a deep commitment to the Christian faith, to the understanding of the Trinity, the incarnation, the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, another element of this is the angle between the vertical line and this line that's the part of the St. Andrew's cross. And this angle is important because it is it is expressive of what we call the golden triangle. The golden triangle is interesting because if you put several isosceles triangles in front of people and say, which is the most attractive to you? Overwhelmingly, people will choose a triangle that has a certain angle, and that angle is called the angle of the golden triangle. And so it represents beauty. If you look at much of architecture, including this ancient architecture of the I believe this is the Parthenon, you'll see that it reflects in a number of aspects this golden triangle. But what's even perhaps more significant beyond the beauty that angle represents is its appearance in the natural world. It is connected as a ratio to Fibonacci, a Fibonacci series, which is a series of numbers that you get just by adding a number to its previous number. So you start with 0 and 1, and then you add 1 and 0. The next number is 1. And then you add 1 and 1 and get 2, and then add 2 and 1 and get a 3, and 3 and 2 and get a 5, etc. Well, if you look at the ratio of each number to the one before it, you get a sense of a spiral. And what that gives you is a shape that we see in the natural world. We see it in the human ear, and we see it all the way out into the spirals of galaxies. We see that shape in an egg, and we see it in a sunflower, and the way a sunflower spirals in a sunflower are formulated. We also see it in a conch shell. So that angle represents the combination, the unity of beauty, of mathematics, and science, ranging from cosmology to biology. And that is important to me in my understanding of faith in the universe, is this connection and importance, not compartmentalization, but the connection of art and beauty with the sciences, physical sciences, cosmology, biology, with mathematics. And finally, where are we to live in this symbol? And I think we're supposed to live at the connecting point. What I like to think is that wisdom is evidenced by being able to be in touch with both the world of the many and the world of the one. And that when we live at that connecting point, both in touch with the power of the sciences and the power of being able to plan and predict and to use technology, but to also connect with the world of the one and the power of those connections for healing and purpose and meaning. And when we bring those two together, then we're really at a place where we can live with not only with wisdom, but with energy. And so this little yellow circle represents for me kind of the explosion. That's what a star is. It's an explosion of energy. And I am at my best. I am most vital, most energized, most enthusiastic. I'm just the healthiest when I am living at this point of connection between these two realms. And this symbol reminds me of my call to live there.